cup of coffee, we're going to be exploring something that youngest kid was aware of that was new to me.
Spooky boy.
You call all of them spooky boy.
Especially this one, spooky boy.
And it's like we're getting a later start that I wanted because I had printer problems again.
Yeah.
And it was a matter of, I don't know, I had paper stuffed where paper should not have been stuffed.
And I've never noticed the red light flashing on the camera before, but...
Yes, it does that. See that the counter is going.
I see that, but...
It does that.
Okay.
Recording.
I shit on the other side. Shit. I sit on the other side. I don't see it. I'm sorry.
Right.
My vision doesn't extend that far. I don't have go-go gadget extendo eyeballs.
That's why I'm over here, is because my vision doesn't extend that far either, and my highlighter was running out, and so...
Hence why I turned the porch light on, but no, you don't want to...
It doesn't help me. In fact, it hinders me more. I don't need more hindrance right now.
Oh, God.
Anyhow, we're going to start... we're going to start out with the mysterious case of the Flatwoods monster. And this was written by Brent Swantz. And that's from February 21st, 2019. And from Mysterious Universe. Now, I'm just highlighting, literally with the highlighter thing, bits and pieces of Mr. Swantz's article here. And it's talking about that this takes place in a small rural town in Flatwoods, which is in Braxton County, West Virginia. I actually needed to go and look up how far that is from us, but it appears to be quite a ways. I think it's like in the middle of the state.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if that'd be a day trip or not.
It'd be cool if it was a day trip. If it was only a day trip.
We'll have to wait for any kind of travel for a minute.
Yeah.
Anyhow, on September the 12th, 1952, around 7:15 p.m., brothers Edward and Fred May were outside playing football, and they were surprised to see what looked like a pulsating, blazing ball of fire go streaking across the sky. And it seemed to come down and crash in some hilly woods at a nearby farm owned by G. Bailey Fisher. And so the kids didn't know what to do, so they ran to the house of a neighbor who was also named May. It was Kathleen May. That sounds like more of a relative than a,
Yeah, that's...
maybe it's a popular name up there. Anyhow,
maybe.
It says that May gathered up a flashlight. I'm assuming that is Kathleen May. There's confusion
I guess so.
here. Already there's confusion. And called together a group of people that included local kids Neil Nunley and Ronnie Shaver, as well as a 17-year-old West Virginia National Guardsman, Eugene Lemon. And they were going to go and investigate, and Lemon's dog went with them.
Lemon.
That's a cool name. Wonder what the origin... Like maybe they were from
Lemon.
They were from the citrus family.
Yeah.
You don't usually have like fruits and vegetables as surnames. It had to come from somewhere.
It had to.
So anyhow, it says when they reached the top of the hill that they could see through the trees what seemed to be a pulsating red light. And they were then overcome by sudden nauseated metallic stench that they would later describe as a pungent mist. That's what they said. That wasn't Swantz's thing. So, anyhow, the dog snarled and barked before retreating with its tail between its legs. And, all they had left was their little flashlight. I think I'd have had more than one flashlight before I went out looking for something like that.
I think that too.
So, with the flashlight, they could see glinting of that looked like shining eyes of some kind of nocturnal animal. I think any animal eyes will shine when lights are...
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Most animal eyes do.
But it soon became apparent that this was no animal any of them had seen before. And since the mysterious eyes seemed to be set within a massive humanoid figure standing about 10 feet tall, with a round, fiery red face and glowing yellow eyes. And it says
Glowing
it was,
yellow eyes.
yes,
Fire red face.
yes, said it was framed in
It's a
some
demon.
sort of hood or cowl shaped like the ace of spades. And then it was embedded with flickering lights and possessing smile-clawed hands, and it was either a dark green or black cylindrical body, and with what appeared to be folds of some kind of draped fabric or molded metal. And all of this was wreathed in some kind of mist or fog.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
It says that after a few minutes, the entity had emitted something between a hiss and a high-pitched squeal, and then glided right towards them with a thumping, throbbing noise. And of course, they ran. I don't
Well,
blame
yeah,
them.
I'd
have
run too.
Upon returning home, they would all experience severe nausea, swelling of the throat, and even convulsions, compared with the symptoms of mustard gas by the doctor who examined them. That's some hardcore stuff right there.
Yeah.
It says the next day, local law enforcement checked out the site, but were unable to find any corroborating evidence of anything that the group had said. Well, if you all went and watched that Mr. Ballin video,
Yeah.
that was enlightening as far as detective work.
Indeed.
Needless to say, the media got hold of this and stoked the fires of UFO rumors by claiming that signs of a landing, such as skid marks and an odd gummy deposit, was found in the place, as well as strange pieces of plastic-like material that was supposed to be found by a reporter named A. Lee Stewart Jr.
Yeah.
It was also discovered that numerous people in the area had also seen an object streak across the sky on the night in question. And as this went on, there was another woman.
Flaming balls of light, we love that.
Right. Yeah, who doesn't love a flaming fireball? You know, that's pretty cool. It makes the evening a little more exciting.
Yeah, just a little bit.
One woman claimed to have seen the same monster that had been described just a few weeks before, and another witness said that her house had reverberated and been shaken by some mysterious force on the night in question.
Earthquake.
Another report came from a couple who claimed that just hours before the original sighting, they had been driving down the highway when they had noticed a horrible metallic smell and had been assaulted with what felt like an electrical charge before witnessing an otherworldly reptilian creature float across the road in front of them.
Ew.
And then
it's just casually floating across the road.
And there were other odd accounts. Mrs. May, who would claim that the day that after the incident, she had been approached at her home by two mysterious men who said they were reporters and had asked to be shown the site, after which they would emerge from the trees with strange oily stains on their clothes.
Yeah.
In later years, even more strange accounts would surface, such as a commander of the West Virginia National Guard named Captain Dale Levitt, who in the 1990s would say that he had examined the area with 50 Air Force personnel after the crash and found an oily substance and a mysterious 6-meter circle of depressed grass.
Huh.
It would also turn out that there had been numerous other sightings of UFOs on the night of September the 12th across several states. And in an account compiled by investigator Frank Bacino?
Frank Ocean.
No. In 2004, there would be hundreds of reports of unidentified flying objects and landings reported on from the same night as the incident.
Unidentified flying object coming towards us.
Adding to all this were odd physical symptoms reported by the witnesses and their doctors, as well as the subsequent strange death of the dog who had been with them, which allegedly began vomiting uncontrollably and dropped dead for no clear reason. Well, you know, if it was some form of mustard gas, that's what it's designed to do, is to kill and do it quickly and heinously.
Yeah, that's pretty horrible.
Yeah, in the years after the Flatwoods encounter, the original witnesses would stick by their stories, insisting on what they had seen, and it became one of the most famous alien encounters in the annals of the paranormal. And a very persuasive skeptical argument is that the whole mysterious event is the result of a unique convergence of misidentification and coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence.
No,
In
it's
this
not.
theory, I've lost it.
Oh my
Perhaps
God.
the light could have been a meteor, which was mistakenly thought to have crashed behind the wooded hill by the witnesses. There were indeed many people who reported the light seen as not a UFO, but as a meteor. So perhaps the witnesses saw this celestial event and jumped to different conclusions. They were unnerved as they went up the hill.
Yeah.
In the dark. We've seen this on these great ghost hunting shows lots.
Mm-hmm.
And then the atmosphere was made even more ominous by a blanket of fog. And it says that in this state of dread, they saw one of the 3 aircraft warning hazard beacons in the area visible from that hill. And considering the meteor that they had mistaken for a UFO, all of that sort of boggled their minds.
I would say so.
Now, the skeptical take on this is that there was no monster at all, but rather a large barn owl perched atop a high branch.
Oh, dear God.
And they said that the witnesses misidentified the owl and its perch as being part of a single entity.
Everybody's blaming the damn owls.
Right, the owl had been that and the weather balloons. If it's not a weather balloon, it was an owl.
Oh my God.
It says that the owl, which was also startled, had then flown off past them in the night, letting out one of the bird's distinctive shrill cries in the process. And then in their panic and surprise, the witnesses had mistaken it for an alien entity flying towards them, sending them running. And Kid has what this owl, and it's a barn owl, is that what it is?
No. It is a eastern screech owl, but I guess you could say that it's a barn owl,
Well, no,
even though it's not.
There's different varieties of owls, but I want y'all to hear what this sounds like.
Give it a minute.
Now, anybody who lives in the woods and stuff, this is those are common noises.
Very much so.
A lot of the owls, there were several owls that Kid played, and I'm like, we hear that every night.
Yeah.
And, I'd sit out on the porch, we could sit here and record owl noises.
Yeah.
This one guy, his skeptic Joe Nickell, wrote a whole deconstruction of the case for the Skeptical Inquirer. And there are many who think that the case is far from being solved, pointing out that there are still aspects that don't fit in neatly with the skeptical theory, such as the pulsing quality of the meteor, and the fact that the whole group of people saw the creature and maintained that it was no owl.
Yeah, because it wasn't a damn owl.
Absolutely. And
owls don't look like spades.
No, they don't. And one of the things that I did think to do this time is go back and find out who Joe Nickell is. And he is with the Center for Inquiry, and that's in Amherst, New York. Now, what do you think people from New York think of people from West Virginia?
They think they're dumb.
Absolutely.
Uncultured.
They think that they're a bunch of ignorant, inbred rubes.
Yeah.
And
pretty much.
We have quite a few Northerners that venture down this way sometimes. Now, we are in Virginia. West Virginia is a separate state.
Yes, it very much is. But they lump all of us together.
Yeah, they lump anybody that lives close, in, around, or close to the Appalachian Mountains and some of these other regions as just, hicks, rednecks, what else? Hillbillies. Like I said, the ignorant. And this shows their ignorance.
Absolutely it does.
Because they don't know us, and I'd like to plop some of these people down on top of White Top. White Top for about 24 hours.
Yeah.
And he is a former professional stage magician. And that's sort of like the Amazing Randy. And so they can go and debunk this stuff. Just because that you can replicate something does not mean that the original is not real. It just means that you were able to replicate the illusion of whatever it is.
Right, exactly.
And this is what I thought was interesting because he, from his debunking of everything, has become a very famous, he has become the author and co-author or editor for 40 books.
40 books.
Oh, yeah, so he's making some monies off his skepticism. Not only that, his featured 15 minutes has gone on more than 15 minutes of fame. He's been on places like A&E, History Channel, National Geographic, Oprah Winfrey Network, Animal Planet, Discovery Channel. Also, as far as Dateline, NBC, Larry King Live, Ricky Lake, Jerry Springer. So it's like he's got an agenda.
Absolutely, he's got an agenda.
So with this...
No, I believe the people who saw the Flatwoods Monster, I believe that they saw it.
You could have warned me that you
Sorry.
were to get ready to start the court. We had a neighbor that stopped by and was talking, and hopefully he'll, in the near future, tell us some of the experiences that he's had in this area as far as paranormal and supernatural, and that some of his people had had.
Yeah, we found out that he had, like, quite a few experiences, and so did his people.
So, but I was ranting about this Joe Nickell who had totally discounted as far as the Flatwoods Monster, and where they had said that the head of the monster, or that it had some kind of headdress or whatever it was behind it that looked like a spade, and they're like, okay, the owl, but the thing is, the owl's head doesn't look like a spade, it looks like an upside down spade, and we're talking like a ace of spades.
But even then, it doesn't look like that.
No.
Truly. You can tell the difference.
And so
clearly,
a lot of this they were saying
very distinct difference.
That it was almost like mass hysteria. I will include the link to the Wikipedia article about this, and whoever it was obviously very much a fan of Mr. Nichols.
Apparently.
And with the skepticism. So when you talk to somebody that has had an encounter, and a lot of times people try to gaslight other people. Well, you didn't really see what you saw.
The hell you say?
And
the hell you say I didn't see what I saw?
Well, there's a lot of people that will then doubt their experience. And so that's not good. Now, yes, there's a time for a healthy skepticism in the fact that searching for the truth. Could it have been this? Are you sure that this was this? Different things like that. And it's not a matter, you can do that in a respectful manner.
Absolutely you can. Absolutely you can.
So, but they actually have a Flatwoods Monster festival every year. And that would be
would be awesome to go to.
That would be a cool thing. They actually have, I think it was maybe 3 chairs or something like that tourists can sit in. That's shaped like the description of the creature.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah.
But I'm about to kill this cat, and he's about to look like the Flatwoods Monster.
He's going to be flat.
Yeah, he's going to be flat.
The cat has a flat. So,
excuse me, sir. It seems your cat has a flat.
But most people who live near the woods and stuff like that, they know what an owl sounds like. They know what an owl looks like.
Exactly.
Even if you're out in the dark and freaked out,
you can still tell the difference between the damn animals.
Absolutely. So it's, there's a lot of reasons people want to debunk these things.
Yeah.
And especially if it has any connection with UFOs, aliens, things like that. And that was what this basically was.
Yep.
So now we know that if you see anything, you can use the excuse, oh, it's just a weather balloon or it was an owl.
Even if it wasn't.
Of course not. So, if you all have had experiences with paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, the gentleman that had visited us, he had said that he had heard the wood knocking that the
He heard the wood knocking.
Sasquatch is, purported to do, and I'm like, oh no, don't be bringing those Squatches down here. But
I'm
now,
like, yes, bring the Squatch over here.
He lives further back up on the mountain than we do. Quite a distance.
He lives further up in the boonies.
He can keep the Sasquatch on his side.
Oh no, I want that.
Oh hell no.
I want you just don't want
I don't want
like
no Squatch on my porch now.
I do. I want to see big feet.
You could go up there and visit him and maybe
I will gladly.
So anyhow,
go search for Bigfoot.
I ain't going to. No. But any other cryptids that you might have experienced, if you have local, regional, or family legends, anything like that, send us an email to cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And the email address is always in the description box. And don't let somebody else talk you out of your experience.
Nope. Nope, absolutely
Stand your ground.
Yep, brewski.
On everything.
Yep.
So you all have a beautiful, blessed day, and we'll see you on the next cup.
Yep. It's not an owl.
Bye.
Oh.